Taxpayers have spent $190 billion since 2008 to bail out home finance giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Critics say the two government-controlled groups were accomplices in the housing crash by their support of subprime loans. Now, Fannie and Freddie are the target of reform-minded lawmakers in Washington. I'm joined by Freddie Mac's former chief economist, Michael Lee, who is also current director of SDSU's Corky Macmillan Center for Real Estate. Dr. Lee, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Give us a quick primer on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. What do they do?
They are government-chartered corporations that have a specialized function to buy mortgages and sell mortgage-backed securities in order to increase the flow of credit to housing.
And what specifically was their role in the housing crash 5 years ago?
Well, they have affordable housing goals, and they relax some of their purchase guidelines in order to meet those goals, and that really helped keep the housing bubble going by getting more credit flowing to the industry, and that ultimately led to a more severe crash and their demise.
You're headed to Washington, D.C. next month to testify about what you think should happen to the two. You used to be a chief economist for Freddie Mac, and yet you'd like to see these two institutions replaced. Why is that?
Well, I think that they got way too big for the safety of the financial system as well as the health of the housing finance system. So when I was there, they were a much smaller part of the overall system, and I think they played a very effective role. But when you have two institutions, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, that fund over $5 trillion of mortgage credit, that's just not healthy for either the economy or the housing market.
But if they were to go away, how would that affect home buyers?
Well, I think that there are a couple things would change. One is without government backing, government guarantees, the cost of mortgages would go up a bit. I don't think it would go up a lot, but certainly maybe 1/4 to 1/2 percentage point. The second thing is that the long-term 30-year fixed-rate mortgage would be more expensive, and more people might opt to select adjustable rate or shorter-term fixed-rate mortgages.
You have studied home financing around the world. How do other countries do this?
We are totally unusual. There's no other developed country that has the equivalent of a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and no other developed country has 90% of their mortgages being backed by the government. So when you look around the rest of the world, you have either bank-based systems that will primarily do adjustable rate or more what we call shorter-term fixed-rate mortgages, or we have some bond-based systems in Europe that have institutions, lending institutions that make the loans, keep them on their balance sheet, but issue bonds to fund them, again without government guarantees.
Fannie Mae has just reported profits of something like $60 billion. Freddie Mac has reported profits of $4.6 billion. How do you think that these profits, these earnings, are going to affect the mood to reform these institutions or get rid of them?
Well, unfortunately, it might slow progress down in that regard, though I would point out that a big chunk of the reported profits for Fannie Mae were illusory. They're basically putting what's called a deferred tax asset back on their books, which means they aren't going to be paying taxes on profits that they make in the future. And somehow that was viewed as positive for the Treasury, which is some kind of arcane accounting.
Very quickly, if reform happens, how long is it going to take?
It's going to be a long-term process. Given the size and the complexity of what they do, any kind of reform efforts are going to be gradual winding down and phasing out.
Professor Lee, thanks for coming on the program today.
You're welcome. Pleased to be here.